And we're underway.
Jones is being held.
Free kick straight out of the middle. Jones being held. Plays on quickly. Del Santo to Peak. He's at the peak of his powers right now. Slips on one of those ruts of carpet grass that I just mentioned had been replaced. And Richards takes a strong mark.
Yeah, good start from Ted Richards playing in front. Wasn't a great kick going in from Peak.
Different consistency of that grass. It's almost like speed humps running across the turf as that one's thumped out of play and will get a ball in.
It's interesting, guys, the fact that Rewalt won the toss and is kicking to the right of screen. That the actual wind is going to the left of screen, which is really a strange decision early.
Well, you said it was blustery to see Brett Peak going to ground, but not under enough pressure to hurt. He might have got the wrong bluster when he was making his decision.
It is swirly, but certainly in the earlier game they were kicking goals to the left of screen.
I have been here for a day and a half. The Saints, in fact, they ate next door, and a couple of players got sick, and they've had to pull out. Stayed just a stone throw from this arena, the Saints players.
Well, I think we might see a little bit of this, Dwayne, today.
Yep, if you have just joined us, Baker and Tom Lynch in, Dawson and Kaziski out. A few ball-ups, you think, Jono?
Yeah, definitely. They'll see a fair bit of this. Boundary throw-ins, a lot of those, and that's where it's going to be important for whoever can get that ball out into clear area, clear space, so they can actually get the run and flow going.
Mumford, McAvoy. Front spot, McAvoy, little touchdown.
Nice work from Ray. He plucked the free kick nicely just to clear the space.
You're not suggesting he just made it up, are you,
I
Jared?
wouldn't suggest that at all. There's 50-metre penalty.
You're not suggesting he just made that one up too?
Not at all. I think we've got three of the best umpires in the business here today, and it's going to be a tough game to umpire because it's a congested game style both play, and it's a pretty tight playing surface, pretty skinny ground.
Kieran Jack told to get going. Rewalt doesn't really come at him with vigour. Pass misses Goods. Shaw mops it up. Back to Jack. To half forward McGlynn. He slips. Back to Jack again. Third possession of this string. White flies. Can't mark. O'Keefe. Gang tackled. Good spot for a ball up though for the Swans.
Well, quite clearly it's treacherous out there. I'm not sure whether the players have got long stops on. You'd expect they would, but it does look as if even that wouldn't make too much of a difference.
Blake knocks it down. Hanbury tried to run through some traffic. Shaw. Can he get the snap away? He can. Had time. Had space. Used it wisely. McVeigh. Richards. Kick half smothered. Del Santo held. Armitage grabs the ball and floats it through. Splits the middle and the Saints on the board. Montagna, Peak, Goddard. Del Santo, clean pick off the half volley. Hamble not so good. Stephen and Polo. Stephen combines with Polo well in the end. Gets away from Malcheski. Revolt. Arm slap free. From 48. Looks okay. Looks beautiful. Mumford, the flick down. Fisher couldn't get it out. Does now to Jones. To Ray. Lynch stays down. Punched away from him. Goddard plays for the free and milks it. And Jones puts his hand up and says, no, I'm not playing on. Yeah, you need to do that now. I mean, you take one step with the ball in your hand, the umpire can get a little jumpy on the play on.
It was lucky it was Jones, because if it was Stephen Milne, I'm tipping that ball was he was having a shot from the boundary line.
Brendan Goddard.
He's got 1 metre.
Biggest lead of the game for either side, 13 points. It's on the money. Better throw in. Kennedy still gets it, as he did the last one. Got a metre kick away. Bounce. Jack bounces it inside 50. Duke Bolton, initial fumble. Hanbury backwards to go forward. McVeigh slips the kick in the white direction, straight through him. Saints getting numbers back. Farron Ray slips, puts his teammate under immense pressure. Kicked off the deck. Duke Bolton from nowhere. That's a miracle goal. Umpires conferring. Put it in the book.
Okay. Yeah. What did you see? Hang on, Jack. What did you see?
I heard a deflection. I heard a second town umpire was kicked.
Okay, what did you see? Okay, what did you see? Okay, we've got two people that think it was deflected off hands, so it's touched all clear. You happy with that, Serge? Touched all clear.
My goodness. So you heard that at home. Touched all clear because two of the umpires. So he punched it onto Jude Bolton's foot. Off Stephen, onto Jude Bolton's foot.
Well, we've got the advantage of that. It looks like it was a goal, and the supporters here have just seen on the big scoreboard as well. But I'm sure the goal umpire was going to signal that, Dwayne, before the umpires came in.
So you think they talked him out of it?
Well, in some ways, I think he may have been.
Could be a
just
double
influenced
whammy
under the
here.
pressure.
Saints going forward. Schneider to Revolt. They're stunned at the moment, the Swans. They need to regroup. Milne, if anybody likes to rub salt into a wound, it's Stephen Milne.
Good rebound by the Saints. I mean, that's gone. Swans have to get that out of their brain and get on with the game. Because if this one goes through, it creates that double goal turnaround.
Stephen Milne coming off a lean trot, 1 goal, just 6 possessions, and a lot of abuse last week against Collingwood. He keeps it low, and that hurts double. Malcheski called to go, took the step, short left foot kick, fantastic collect half volley, not as good though. White on the run, Schneider with the free. And now the Saints on the move.
Oh, great tackle. So they got that in quickly. Mumford, whose direct opponent was Dempster.
Milne looked really dangerous. One out in the goal square with plenty of space, but the captain's done the job.
Amazing mark, really, for Revolt. Used his body, protected the drop zone, and dived to the ball and took a strong chest mark.
But it'd be ironic if Nick Riewoldt kicked accurately all game, and the Swans, well, they've got more single digits on the board than Bill Laurie will be happy with.
To the Boos. Big kick this. It's against the run. Never in doubt. Margin out to 17 points. Biggest margin of the afternoon.
Yeah, Jesse White non-handball into Malcheski decisions hurt him on the rebound.
Wide in the ruck, down to Kennedy, caught. Got a handball up, dispossessed. Armitage, Del Santo. High kick, Goddard inside 50 with him. Richards got a toe on it. Malcheski, McVeigh, Jack, McVeigh. Handball it out of defence. O'Keefe. Now Kennedy can get and go. He's got the over the top. It's Spanger. Needs to be a good kick and he can go. Takes the mark, runs to 50. Peake runs him down, centering kick.
Reed.
Drifting back, Reed can't mark. Off hands O'Keefe. Hacks it towards goal. Hallelujah! Tries to weave some magic through some traffic. Wide to Lynch. Johnson with the fist. Lynch too strong.
That's the problem the Swans have got. They're subject now to the big counter-attack. The goal face is really open.
Milne to Schneider. He's got the runner inside 50. He's got a couple of options. Gilbert out wide. He can have the shot from 45. It's bending. Brilliant. On the counter-attack. Swans. Gary Rowan comes in to the lineup as the sub, so he can come on. Hasn't played a lot of footy this year. Jesse White, Matt Spanger, also not a lot of footy this year for the Sydney Swans. It's make or break for a couple of these players. Spanger will come off. Blood rule on cue. Spanger split. Ball tossed in the air. It's turf that's not good enough to bounce the ball on. Kennedy to Hanbury. Left foot to the midfield. Dangerous kick. Graham's fist. Spectacularly good. Right to the spot that he wanted it. Now to Schneider. Open goal. Beckons. He's got Reebok over the top. Touched by Richards. Still dragged down. Surely a free to Richards. Fantastic piece of play, Teddy.
Yeah, it was one of Teddy's finest moments for the Swans. That could save them a spot in the 8. Great chase by Daniel Hanbury as well to put the pressure on.
Early lead McVeigh, and the umpire says unrealistic attempt. Needed to at least touch it. Geary. Swans flooding back. Down to a minute to half-time. To the top of the square. Rewalt, McAvoy. Armitage almost off hands. Smith turned it over. McAvoy slips. Rewalt smothered. Out of play. 56 seconds left. Ball in. 16 points the margin. Critical clash between two teams in contention. Ball knocked down. Both teams be pretty keen to get into half-time and reset. If you join us late, Swans kicked the opening goal of the afternoon. The Saints have virtually led since then. The ball up, flick down Kennedy. Down to 40 seconds and Lynch marks on the line. In fact, it's too far out on the full. So one last chance at a score for the Saints. Rewalt's down there, it's not to him, it's toward Ray, strangely enough. And maybe one last chance for the Swans. Jetta takes off, not a lot to kick to. Kennedy now short passes to White. Fantastic grab low down to McVeigh as the seconds tick. He runs to 50, keeps it low. And he gets the party started.
Sure. Twice McGlynn's been exposed for a lack of pace. Once in the chase and once on the attack.
Off hands, Jude Bolton having an influence. Goods at half forward. Gathers on the bounce, hands to Spanger. Not a lot to go to. His only option, Hanbury takes the mark, plays on. Open goal beckons. And it's on the button. 3.
I think the Saints have got to start implementing the third man up at the stoppages because McAvoy's just not strong enough to go with Mumford.
Well, they did it last week with some success against the Pies, and they're getting smashed in clearances today.
Ray short, Rewalt too far out to score, no one to go too long. Hands it back over the top to Ray, tucked into the pocket. Eye of the needle stuff. Under immense pressure. They will be beyond the reach of Fremantle and North Melbourne. Big collision inside 50 for the Swans.
Spanger's done a shoulder.
And he's already got the head strapped from a collision and a blood spill earlier. Now there's a free kick off the ball. It's a hold. Swans ball. Jude Bolton.
Yeah, he's coming straight off here, Spanger. It's a big hit.
Oh, yeah. In the meantime, Jude Bolton with another vital kick. If you join us late, they've kicked 4 goals, 13, the Sydney Swans. They need a straight one. And Deadeye Jude cuts the margin to 4 points. Peeks out wide. Clark looks up. Bang, caught by Jetta. He is having an influence. Goods lays a tackle. Ball free. Johnson back to Jetta. Here's the pace. He puts the afterburners on. It doesn't bounce back to him. Now he collects it. And he finds Reid with a pass. Surely it wasn't meant for him.
He likes those centering kicks, does Lewis Jetta, Jono?
Well, I think we all know that was a bit of luck, but luck's a fortune, and Reid goes back with a set shot 30 metres out directly in front. But it was his tackle, it was Jetta's tackle that created this.
Swans are finding plenty of ball. The crowd are finding voice. And Reid pumps up the volume.
The second no might have been a bit more emphatic. You're right, Jude.
Very keen to stay on, I think, the skipper.
Flick down. Del Santo, high, top of the square. Richards with the fist, knocks it down, danger zone. Milne played for the free, didn't win it. Rewalt down behind play again. Trainers are going to come out to him, he might be coming off. McGlynn through traffic, turned it over. Lynch, late inclusion, worth the money.
It'll be interesting too because they've got Steve Baker as a substitute. Now he's not really a substitution as you'd think, a good substitution for the likes of Rewalt.
Dempster to the top of the square again. Richards gets back, Lynch was lurking. Grundy can accidentally run it through. Doesn't take that option, almost turns it over. Free kick, Armitage, arm slap. He'll have the shot.
Just getting a bit ragged now, the Sydney Swans defence. They've been put under enormous pressure, and 50 metres is a very, very poor decision from the player concerned.
Shot from the top of the square, more than ragged. They're about to concede a 9-point advantage. Second for Armitage, and some breathing space for the Saints.
And it may be more critical than even that for StKilda. If Nick Rewald is down for the count, in fact he's back out in the ground, so I guess that's a bonus, but he may have a serious issue with that knee.
Poor ball up to start the final term. Shaw pounces on it. Spanger, half forward, half held. Hanbury through some traffic, tried to slip it to Spanger, got a hand on it. Ball up.
Well, Hanbury looking for the handball through then. Could have just nearly thrown on the boot. Could have had a bit of luck with that, with a couple of teammates in the goal square.
Mumford. Goods tracking it.
Well, he's paid for the free kick. He got up. I don't think he was.
I think he realised it pretty quickly.
I don't think he was overly pleased with his effort there, Adam Goods. And he was up pretty quickly.
Oh no, but not do that.
Yellow card.
Close.
Mumford down to Goods. He's going to make amends. Outside of the boot. No way! That's off the scale.
Well, that's making amends, Jono. That is making amends. It's the definition of making amends. What an impact.
What about that? Once again, Mumford to the front of the contest, what he's done all day today. And Adam Goods facing the grandstand on the far side, boomerangs it around with his right foot.
Well, this will give you a better angle. It's just how far away from goals. He was going for the wing. Great kick.
The crowd stunned at ANZ Stadium, but that's the kind of thing Adam Goods can do. It's a one-point game.
I can hear people talking about getting on your left foot, but that was exactly the right kick to do.
There he is on cue again. Perfect pass. Hanbury thinks about the 1-2 with Goods, still wandering around. He still wants it. He's ignored White. He's been good but inaccurate.
Big chance for him. You're spot on, Pickers. He was getting pressure from the left-hand side. If he had kicked it on his left, it would have been smothered. So it was the perfect kick for the occasion, and that's exactly what is required from Jesse White. Just a straight kick.
He's been hot today, and he's white hot now. Swans lead.
Shade early to get on the motorbike, Jono, but a good result, much better than missing.
What about the celebration on the motorbike? Just a tweak of the wrist from Jesse White after that goal. One of the better celebrations I've seen in a while, Drew.
Yeah, it was unique. Haven't seen much of it. Just out in front, a really good kick. What an impact Adam Goods has had in 3 minutes off the ground for a rest over to the Saints.
The Man Mountain delivers.
Speaking of which, big lift here from big boy McAvoy required.
Mumford got a touch on it.
You make a really good point, Jared, because the two goals
He's in
they've got...
trouble, Stephen, here, by the way. Free kick, Swans. Sorry, Pickers.
Just going to say that both the goals they've got at the start of this last quarter have been from stoppages, so they actually lead the stoppages 40-27 overall.
Kennedy to Shaw. They are full of run, full of confidence. White, can he get there for a contest? Spanger goes for it in the end. Jones through some traffic. It'll be coming back. Grundy collects, delivers. Hanbury on the left. Malcheski. Saints getting every player back now in front of Malcheski. Short.
I need another short one. I need another lead up from a small forward.
McGlynn to Malcheski. Loads up. Top of the square. Reed's down there. Fist. Did he touch it? Just some skin on it, luckily. This one is building. It's at fever pitch right now. The crowd right into it. Rewalt needs to get into it.
There's the knee pulled up after that one. He didn't land overly flashly, but he's
Trying not
coping.
to show it.
He's coping pretty manfully.
66 plays 60. Finals on the line, a season on the line. Ball to the back, Gary Rowan. Fresh man on the sub. Grundy. Jack hacks it. Reed can't get a jump at it. Spanger off some hands, snaps a goal, and suddenly they're finding the opening. No. We're inside 2 minutes.
9 individual goal kickers, Jono, for the Swans.
Yeah, it's good. That's something that the good sides in the competition have a mixture of goal kickers. Up around 9 to say 12 is
Hold on,
going
Mumford.
really well.
Shane Mumford will have the shot. It's appropriate. If he can land the last blow.
He's had a huge game. He's 52 hit-outs, I should say, to Big Mummy.
He can take as much time as he likes.
Play out, Daniel.
Seconds tick down.
Play out, Stephen. 5 metres.
For the knockout blow, right between the eyes.
Razor Ray.
He might have been Dean Polo. But let's have a look at this extraordinary goal, which just had everybody befuddled. Not sure that ever happens, Jono.
Now you see some strange things in this game, and that was one of them. Obviously, that blustery wind that Pickers has been speaking about all day kicked into gear.
Well, when you consider the Swans have won just 2 out of the last 8 games, they needed a monumental performance and probably the full 4 quarters to regain their confidence. Signs in the second quarter, signs even early in the piece, but they couldn't score. But that would be one of the better sirens that John Longmire's heard in his career.
They've been a powerhouse under Paul Roos, but in 2011, it could be John Longmire in his first season at the helm that takes the Sydney Swans into the finals. 10.5 wins on the ladder. It could be enough to get them in. It could even be enough to get them a home final. The 2 big games to come for the Swans. Geelong at Skilda Stadium next week. The Brisbane Lions at the SCG in their final game of the home and away season. And the Saints, for them it's going to come down to their last 2. North Melbourne at Etihad and Carlton at the MCG. There are no certainties for the 2011 finals either. Well, let's go down to the start of the show.